Right, by popular demand, I am going to take some more of the town. I'm excellent, thank you, Death Fingers. The weather here has calmed down a little bit. It was, yeah, it's too unpleasant to do anything for a little while. Something just made a noise. I'm going to assume it was good news. Shep Zeppelin, thank you for the follow, mate. Right, what are we going to do today? I did actually, in a massive anti-climax, cap the quest with the railroad for Ballistic Weave. So I now have Ballistic Weave. It was just by... what's it called again? Good Neighbour. I had to just literally go into a building, climb up some stairs, go into a building, kill a couple of goons, open a stash, and then I went and cashed it, and then I got given Ballistic Weave. So we can now make... let's have a look. Where the fuck is it? We can now make ballistic cocktail dresses, which means now we can equip our prostitutes with the finest couture, which also has 110 energy and ballistic protection. So that's fucking top shelf. I mean, that's on a par with sort of normal combat, full set of combat armor. Only they can look pretty too. So things have gone quite well. I guess we're going to take a little look at our situation now, because we've unlocked all of the bases. We've connected, I think, pretty much everything here. Obviously, I'm not talking about the DLC. But, Vlamenzi, how you doing, mate? Tolcano, hello, fella. Forgive my manners, Death Fingers. I hope you're doing good, sir. So yeah, I may end up having to do a little video about the travelling salesman problem, because I've had a lot of conversations with people about what is the best way to connect these bases. And without a Cray supercomputer, I couldn't give you the proper answer. And I don't think there is a definitive answer, I've got to admit. Tolcano says, when I think of the UK, I think of Kevin and Perry. that's a damning indictment of the UK. Although they're very good comedians. But yeah, I think at some point I'm going to do a little video about how to connect the bases, because there's pros and cons. Just for those of you who are new to the game or about to get the game, I'll just say this. Just for now, the really important thing that you know, because it's a very common mistake, and every new player does this, is they set up Sanctuary first, and then they keep opening up bases, and then they go to Sanctuary, and then they take someone and go, you can do the supply line to this new base, and then they go back and go, you can do the supply line to that new base, and they rinse and repeat. So all of the supply lines radiate out from Sanctuary. You don't want to do that, because all of those provisioners will be based at Sanctuary, and eventually, sort of mid to late game, you get to the point where nobody's doing any work at Sanctuary because you've got like 15 or 20 provisioners, and there's no one left to give a fucking job to. So it's important that you send people to a base, and then just as they turn to walk away, you then set them up as the provisioner, because then they will be located at the base you sent them to. Every provisioner has to have a location, so send them there, then set them up as the provisioner. But anyway, that's enough of that. My main bit of advice is try and connect them together like a circuit board, not like a spider's web, and try and set them up so they are walking along lines that you walk. So I'm actually about to set up a new provisioner. And this is a surplus provisioner, but basically this this is a fuck of a route to walk. And unfortunately, up that coastal path is a route that you walk a lot on survival because you can't fast travel. And that is a densely populated area full of fuckheads. And if I have a provision of walking up and down there, then at least that will be slightly less shit for me to deal with. So let's take a quick look at what we got. But yeah, I hope you're all well on this fine afternoon, I guess, now. Yeah, let's scrap some stuff up. Scotty, how you doing? Carpucci. Nice to see the pair of you. Alright, let's see if I can scrap this up before my legs snap. Yeah, let's just grab someone. Another takeaway I've got from this playthrough, because obviously with Fallout 4, every time you play through it, you always do things differently the second time round. And I would say the one thing I've learned about this playthrough is when you're building your bases, when it comes to your vendors, you know, your settlement vendors, try and build them fairly close to ground level and fairly central to your base. I have done a few things differently this playthrough, so I've tended to build a lot of taller structures, and I've tended to put my settlers on the roof, and I've been getting all sorts of bugs. Sorry, put my vendors on the roof, and I've been getting all sorts of bugs with my vendors. So my one takeaway would be, I think for safety, keep your vendors on the ground floor and keep them fairly central to the base. Capucci says, I'm way too easy to sell shit to. Pre-ordered Fallout 76 Digital Deluxe version. Whatever the fuck it's called, for €80. I'm definitely going to play Fallout 76. I am, although I am very worried that they're looking at other games like EA games and The Division, and they're going, hey, why don't we do a live service game and then we can sell children fucking shoes for £3. So I'm very worried about 76, but I'm going to give it a shot because, you know, it's Bethesda and it's Fallout and I love the franchise. Scotty says, feeling beat up, I got jumped by all the Ubi thugs daring to criticise early access. Oh shit, mate, my heart bleeds for you. I have been there more times than I can count. I'll be honest, even some of the Ubi brown shirts have been broken ranks over the early access. I won't say too much about it.
I can patch you up if you need it.
Because
fee, of course.
Barter.
I need some supplies, Doc.
I won't say too much about it because I'm going to be trying to write a video about it tonight. But yeah, let's just say quite a few people, even quite on-side people, took one look at that pre-order setup and were like, what? All DLC will be free. I've seen a couple of people, and I've at least seen a couple of them be defensive, which is a first. But yeah, I've still seen some pretty obsequious and fucking servile tweets promoting the pre-order whilst completely forgetting to mention that they did say all the DLC would be free. Blumenzi says, I'm surprised Skill Up was so vocal about it. I have not actually seen what he said, so I will look that up. But no, Marco, surprisingly, wasn't very happy about it. I think a lot of people are fucked off also about this. About the 3-day early access, about the 7-day access to the DLCs. No, I will check that. Yeah, I'm measuring my words slightly because fuck me, I'm carrying a ridiculous amount of ammo because I
If you need fixing up,
just fucking cancelled that trade because I'm a dumbass.
Supplies for the road.
let's see what I can spare.
Yeah, I don't want to. Psycho and Jet, I'll have some of that, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't want to kind of talk my way through the impending video, but yeah, there's a few contradictions. Right, let me sell this. Right, that is an automatic. That's an automatic air freshener in the background. That wasn't a cat breaking wind.
Are you trying to impress someone? Come on, drop some of that.
Right. Yeah, I just one of the reasons I was so quiet about the pre-sale.
Got work to do. Can't
I didn't say anything for about 24 hours was simply because I thought I must be misunderstanding it. I literally I just literally I'm not gonna say anything because I must have got this wrong. You know, after all of the stuff they're saying about all the DLC will be free. I mean, it was everywhere in Forbes. It was in all the game journals. You name it, everywhere. The mantra was all DLC would be free, and then they announce a sort of pre-order, and it's like they're even fucking monetizing fucking stash space, and I'm like, I must have missed something. You know, I just thought, I must have fucking misunderstood something here. I'm going to keep my mouth shut so I don't make a fool of myself, because surely they couldn't have done this. But they fucking did. I mean, they've just moved all of the goalposts. So, yeah, the base game and the DLC, if you want to have everything in it, it's going to cost you about £100, like it did if you bought a game and the season pass. They've just recategorized stuff, moved stuff around, monetized stash space. I mean, it's quite funny, I'm not gonna lie. Volcano, I'm hoping the beta sucks so I don't have to buy the Division 2. I think, fuck me, I'm carrying so much crap. I think of the problems with the Division 2 will be based on the business model. I mean, you know, like my tweet about survival last night. There's nothing wrong with the actual devs, the guys doing the work. You know, the actual talent that they have on this game. You know, they know their shit. They create beautiful games. You know, the Division's a beautiful game. All of the reasons why the Division is a shit show a lot of the time is because of lack of funding for fixing things. You know, it's like, you know, the Division 2's nearly out, and the other night I still got stuck in rubbish bags in survival and had to fucking ditch my playthrough. I mean, that's just, I mean, come on, why don't they fix this? And it's all to do with money, investing in developers to actually fix stuff, maintaining the game. And thank you, Scotty. I mean, I'd see you not. I had to tweet that because I wasn't exaggerating. I've even caught it. I actually managed to catch the last bit of it on video capture. It was I'm terrible at survival, and I actually had this run where it was like, shit, I've got about 30 minutes on the clock. I've got medicine, I've got painkillers. I think I was like in full blue gear, full blue guns, had weapon mods. I was stocked up and ready to go. It was like, wow, I'm just going to hit the DZ and I'm going to just start farming. And I'm terrible at survival. And then I run into these two groups of mobs, take them out, no sweat, because I've got skills and I've got guns. And then I make the mistake of going too near some rubbish bags. And I'm like, you are fucking shitting me. This is done. This is done. You know, I fucking had it. In hindsight, what I should have done is just let it timed out. I should have just windowed out, let it timed out, died of disease and got some points for it. But I was just so fucking pissed off. I couldn't kill myself to get myself out of it. And I quit out of the game. And I'm like, that is the Division. That is the Division in a nutshell. Doing survival has really got me into the game again. I'm obsessed with it. I'm having a lovely time. It's reminded me of everything great about the game. And then I get stuck in fucking dustbins and waste an hour and a half of my life. And yeah, that's the Division. Sorry about that rant. Flamenzi, yeah, happened to me as well. Yeah, I didn't realise that would resonate with so many people. I thought I just had a lot of bad luck with landing in the bins because it's by far not the first time. Yeah, I'm not too good with hunters. I've got to figure out a bit of a better strategy with hunters. Because I'm getting very, very good at surviving, getting into the DZ, getting my shit, and magically being near an extraction point when players better than me turn up, kill the hunter, and I jump on their chopper. I'm getting very, very skilled at extracting, but I'm not good at killing the hunters. I think I need to. Yeah, I need to come up with some better strategy. I think I always end up. I always get pulse and turret. Actually, the M60 is what I'm experimenting with at the moment. Because I find the problem with the hunters is it's easy to get them to low health, but then they do something like get behind cover or start to heal up. And I find that the M60 is great because you can just keep laying shots on them without having to reload. But I'm wary about using a turret because they can hack them, and I've died at an extraction once before because someone threw down a turret, and the turret got hacked, and that, as they say, was the end of that. The turret just basically annihilated us. Right. Yeah, I hear that the sniper rifles is a great way for taking them, but I'm just such a fucking mess with
Let's trade some
sniper rifles.
Okay.
Carpucci says, "I wonder if they fixed the running animations in Div 2 from the E3 demo." No, I think they're going to roll with those, mate. Because I know people think I'm being cynical, but I actually genuinely think they are compelled to change the running animation because they're compelled to change the models so that they can change all of the cosmetic items. Therefore, they can charge us again. If they just ported over all of the animations, people would lose their shit if they didn't port over their equipment. So I think that's how they're going to go. They're going to go with that weird Ghost Recon
I just
crap.
want to trade a few things.
Go ahead.
Right, I actually need to focus for a few minutes and stop cocking everything up. Sorry, guys. We're going to set up this new provisioner. T equip. For those of you who don't know, this is a pair of knuckles that I've renamed. So I can stick it on this guy so I know what he does and where he's going. Right, we're going to stick him a mining helmet. We're going to give him a red bandana, road leathers. Right, is there anything else we can give this Moog Pro? That's about it for now. So, supply line, he's going to Jamaica Plain. Yeah, I'm got one eye on chat. Yeah, I prefer Hudson now because as well you don't have to wait for the bloody. Wow, that looks weird. You don't have to wait for the bloody lifts as well. Yeah, maybe there will be a DLC for better character animation. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point in the future there's like, hey, do you want the retro option and have your old character model back? For the minuscule charge of $19.99, you'll be able to buy your old animation pack back. $5 Chicken Dance DLC. I think you just nailed it. Right, I should do some killing. So yeah, now I've got a bit of this guy will not go as the eagle flies. I'm not exactly sure what route he will take. I might actually just watch him, but I think he's going to go up there and walk down there. Yeah, the fact that he's walking northeast is a good sign. That means you got to be careful because sometimes, like if you know, provisioners for Spectacle Island will just basically walk into the water. So you've got to be a little bit careful that you don't. That guy theoretically could have just like gone fuck it and jumped in the water and walked down there. But yeah, I might do something a little later with the rest of this. Right. Is there anything else we can sell? Scotty says, I love the Division and Massive, but anyone who can't call them out on bullshit is just a cuck. Yeah, it sometimes makes me sad when I see people who are blatantly hyping when they should be calling people out, because it doesn't make the game any better. It just, do you know what I mean? It just means people, it just sends the message, hey, we can get away with murder, and people will just thank us. Right, I'm going to chuck some shit in here. But yeah, I mean, I genuinely love this game, and I know. Should I say I love the Division? I'm always getting called a fucking hater. And it's like I'm just not a hater. I fucking love it. I was really enjoying my time playing Survival. I really was. Just like I've never been any good at it. Never really spent much time doing it because the loot rewards were so low, and because I was forced to do it. I did some of it and I was like, wow, I'm really enjoying it. This is kind of what it's all about. Right, I'm going to risk getting bed aids because I've done so much fucking around, but I'm going to risk getting bed aids. Going to have one little sleep, and then we're going to decide what we're going to do. Volcano says he probably spent 12 hours on Survival since the Shield came out. So much fun. I'll be honest, most of the shields, I agree with you, mate. Most of the shields I think are pretty repetitive and tiresome, and then the one for Survival basically forces you to do Survival, and I'm so glad it did, because it's something I never do because it takes up so much time for so little reward, and I'm so bad at it. And the Shield forced me to do it, and I fucking love it. It's kind of, part of it is at the core of what the Division's really about. That whole survival, edgier seat stuff. Fucking, I've really got into it, and I am pretty appalling at it, but I still fucking love it. Right, what are we going to do today? Right, that's cleared and built. Kingsport is a shithole. A lot of these places, Slog's been built. Finch Farm, I think, is a shithole. Let's have a look at our quests. Yeah, I agree, Tolkana. The reward to your time factor is much better than it was, but it's still like a fraction of running, running Hudson on meth. If you just like bang meth and do Hudson, you'll just out loot it so easily. But I mean that figuratively rather than actually literally doing meth. Not that I'm gonna tell you what you should or shouldn't do. But yeah, it's much better than it was. I mean, survival used to be, you could fucking play it all afternoon, get killed, and get a fucking rifle, and it would just be like, oh, thanks for that. In that time, you could have done 100 Lexington runs and had more gear than you can fucking adequately vendor. But yeah, they've improved the loot. They've improved the loot, and yeah, it's good. It's good. I've finally got into it. You just got to accept the fact that you'll do lots of your beginning runs. You'll just be running around trying to find a scarf and die. Lumenzi says I'm not even playing for loot anymore. Hell, not for the last year. Honestly, Lumenzi, there was a little bit of me that thought it would be liberating just to delete all of the loot on a couple of my characters and just free up a ton of fucking inventory space. Yeah, I mean, I'm at that point now where I'm just there to enjoy the game. I mean, any loot we get's going down the shitter anyway. I want to keep my strikers and my Firecrest because, they're high end and they're just great kits. But the rest of it is just like, I'd probably enjoy re-gearing more than I would min-maxing some of that. Right, I'm going to try and find the quest. I've decided what the plan of action is going to be. I'm going to advance the main quest line because I'm going to advance the main quest line for reasons that I'm not going to say out loud. Because those of you who know the game will know why I'm doing this. But I think what I need to do is...
Easy living. This ain't.
That's Zoo's Fishing. This is named after Zoo Fishing, by the way, this brothel. And that's his little fishing stall. Rico, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Yeah, for those of you who know the game... Oh, fuck me, I have actually... What manner of bed aids? I didn't even notice I got bed aids again. Infection. I'm actually going to have to go back and treat this or I'm going to get fucked. I'm going to get constantly fucked. You know what I'm talking about, but thank you sincerely, Rico. That was too kind. I'll be looking for a way to return the favour. And I will build that brothel for you and Tanisha. Scotty, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to catch up on current events on that front. Yeah, time to advance the main quest line, I feel.
Not many doctors.
And that way, off stream I can be building some brothels. On stream I can be doing some quests. Cure Rads, cure my VD.
Huh, you look fine, but... Oh, wait. Yep, that's gonna need to be set back in place. Let's get started.
Yeah, I'm very well, Rico. I've clearly been fucking my mattress again because I've got bed aids.
All done. Any other complaints?
No other complaints.
Take better care of yourself in the future, okay?
Yeah, definitely. For those of you who don't know, check out Vlemenzi on Twitter. Vlemenzi
Crops been growing.
does all of the quality artwork for this channel, and his current artwork has been focusing on the themes of the intersection between Barbie and community managers. It's kind of an intellectual exploration. Definitely worth checking that out on Twitter. Yeah, it appears after the stream I'm going to have to go and do the rounds of some of the content creators and find out what they've been saying about the pre-order shenanigans. So yeah, let's get our asses to Diamond City. Get some serious questing done, and get this story going. And I will be doing building off stream. I gotta do a lot of work on these because I've thrown a lot of these places up in such a fucking hurry. The recruitment beacons have kicked in. They're full of settlers. The settlers are eating my global food supply. Hence I've had a potato crisis. I think there's still ghouls here, by the way, but we're also going to have to keep an eye open for regular routine supplies of ballistic weave, because now I have the recipe for ballistic weave. The real big problem is going to be a decent supply of ballistic weave, because it is always in short fucking supply. Let's take a look what the best route is here. I'm going to go around the coast road. It's a bit longer. And sadly a bit safer.
We're sucking up rats here.
But it means I get to have a quick look at Hangman's Alley. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll look at Hangman's Alley off stream. Let's open up some fast travel points and see some scenery, so that people who haven't seen this game get to see a bit more of the heart of the city. Unfortunately, early game, the middle of the city, middle of Boston's a bit like, what's that shithole in Somalia from Black Hawk Down? Is that Mogadishu? Well, you know, if there's anybody on stream from Mogadishu, I apologise for being rude about your hometown. I'm sure you love it and you have a great football team. But yeah, it's a bit like that. Going around every corner is a opportunity to take an RPG in the face. Talking of which, I won't go into great detail here. But I did actually fire an RPG-7 the other day. It was a part of a birthday present on a training range, and I got to actually fire a genuine fucking former Soviet RPG-7 training round, which is just basically like a slower version of the real thing, with green tracer flames rather than explosive what do you call it, charged head. And it was fucking hysterical, I've got to admit. It was also fucking heavy. But yeah, I strongly recommend it. And and when my mate took my photo, I just couldn't resist throwing up a quick ISIS gang sign, which almost got me into a lot of trouble, but the army bloke who was there, he saw the irony. The weather in Mogadishu, Scotty. I would imagine the weather in Mogadishu. Dear God, don't be stuck. Weather in Mogadishu. Right, bad guys. Zoo, how you doing, mate? Your ears must be burning. I was literally just talking about your fishing setup. Rico, I'm sure you will let me know when you're ready. Right, I've got a fucking gunfight to my left.
I know you're here. This is bullshit.
Ah, there they are.
Peekaboo!
Fuck me.
Let's do this, metal man! Aw, we were
Irene. I can't. I know that reference from somewhere. When this stream is over, I fucking promise you guys, I will go through my fucking character and I will get rid of all of the ridiculous amount of extra fucking crap that I'm carrying. I know this guy is massively overburdened and I'm being a complete hoarder and I apologise. Just going to go and unlock this door, even though I'm a bit worried there's someone down there. Anyway, you well, Zoo? How is your trip to the wasteland doing? Commonwealth, I beg your pardon.
You're pretty handy with that bobby pin.
Before you arrived, I was actually talking about the old travelling salesman problem and about how to set up the optimal way to set up provisioners and how it's kind of an insoluble problem. Black Hawk Down. I'm going to have to watch that again now. It is Black Hawk Down, I think, is just one of those bloke films that you could, doesn't matter how many times you've seen it, once a year you can always watch it again. And apparently it's really it was actually popular in Somalia, but they were obviously cheering at different parts of the film, and I'm not even kidding. Right, let's take a look at the map. Right, we need to head a little bit more west. I'm going to go back to this In fact, if I can sleep here, I'm going to for a quick save.